What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm talking about a 90-day sprint. I just wanted to preface this video and tell you it is life-changing, and I highly encourage you to watch this whole video in its entirety and to share this with a friend and then let's go on a 90-day sprint together. So like this video, share it with a friend, subscribe to this channel, and when you finish watching the video, drop a comment in the comment section and let me know what you thought about it. Let's get it. 90 days, 90 days, 90 days. So in this video, I want to talk about how a 90-day sprint can change your life. Now, make sure you stay to the end because I broke this down in 3 phases. And I'm going to explain each phase. And each phase is going to outline how you can change your life. So here's the thing, right? Everybody wants fast results. Everybody wants to overnight see an extra 100,000. But what if I told you that it won't come overnight, but it won't take forever? And so in my lifetime, I've had a lot of different times where I just used this 90-day sprint philosophy and mentality, and I used it for my life, and I saw so many results, right? So I want you to hear what I'm saying. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna give you the sauce, and then it's gonna be up to you to go out and apply it. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say before I start this video is I want you to really hear what I'm saying. Don't just watch this video to watch it. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care how much money you're not making, because I know if you follow what I'm telling you, if you're making $1 million a year, I can help you get to $2 million a year. If you're making $300,000 a year, I can help you get to $600K a year, because the things that I come to you with are from experience and principle and law, right? So a 90-day sprint. A 90-day sprint. How can I change my life in 90 days? So let's talk about it. So first things first, you have to identify, okay, where are you at and what you're doing. Don't fracture your focus and be doing 18 different things at once. So number one, you gotta have something that you're doing, have something that you're working on, and have something that you're already in motion with. Or if you're at the beginning phases, it may be slightly more challenging, but you can definitely still do it. So for me, I'm going to break it down for you from something that I did recently, right? So within the past year. So when I got into solar and door to door, I went on a 90-day sprint. I started off with a company. That company was pretty horrible. Came to a different company. I murdered it, right? So I'm going to share with you what my 90-day sprint was and how you can apply this to your life. So phase one. Phase one is going to be the testing phase, right? And what the testing phase is you're going to have, it's also like the maximum effort phase. And the reason why is because I've broken it up into 30-day increments. So 30 days, 30 days, and 30 days. So your first 30 days are all about testing and effort. The reason why is because you cannot get anywhere without having a lot of effort in the beginning, because you have to figure out what's working. So there's something I always talk about, which is a feedback loop. So if I'm saying I want to go make $300,000 selling solar and knocking on doors, and I'm not putting in the effort, I'm not going to get there. So the more you do in a short period of time, you're going to be able to collapse time because you're going to have way more data. So in my first 30 days of switching companies, I went ballistic. Every day I was knocking 90, 100 doors every single day. And then what I ended up doing is I was just going hard. I wasn't worried about quality control just yet, because I had to put in a lot of effort. And then when I put in a lot of effort, I was able to see what my KPIs were. So whatever you're doing, whether you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, service-based, product-based business, your first 30 days, if you want to commit to a 90-day sprint, your first 30 days, I want you to go super hard with effort. No matter what you're doing, I want you to go hard on getting clients, marketing, showing up every day, working for an extra 2 hours a day. However many hours you work an extra 2 hours a day. If you're studying, study an extra 2 hours a day. What this is going to do is you're going to become more obsessed with your craft, but also you're going to drive so many more. You're going to start creating a lot of motion around what you're doing. So in my case, I created a lot of leads. A lot of leads. Now, some leads were good, some leads were bad. But what did I do? I was able to create motion. So first things first, just understand this. If you don't have motion, you don't have anything. If you don't have motion, you don't have anything. So your first 30 days of this 90-day sprint, you got to create the motion. If you don't have motion, you have nothing. And what I see oftentimes is people come into sales, so door to door, start a business. They're not creating enough motion in a shorter period of time. And so if you are not creating the motion in a short period of time, it's just going to take you longer to be successful in that thing. And this is why people will say it doesn't take forever to be successful. It doesn't take forever to blow up. Right? When I had a podcast, I was putting out 4 episodes per week because I wanted to collapse time. So if you're doing anything, you may be getting a little bit bored. You may be on cruise control. Commit to a 90-day sprint. Commit to a 90-day sprint and follow my 90-day sprint blueprint. So the first 30 days, I want you to commit to an insane amount of effort. So that way we can figure out what your KPIs are and also what your feedback loop is. Now the feedback loop is, I put in all this effort. Now let me assess and analyze what I have received. In my case, I knock 2,000 doors. Now let me, with the 2,000 doors that I have knocked, how many leads have I had? How many sales have I had? And how many other leads have I had that are potentially going to sell in the next 15 to 30 days? All right, so that's phase 1. Phase 1 is the first 30 days, and I need you to put in maximum effort, and I need you to understand that all this is doing is setting you up, and you got to trust the process, right? So follow what I'm saying here. Follow what I'm saying here. That's phase 1, maximum effort. Right? Maximum effort. I need to see what the information is and what the data is so I can analyze and assess. If you don't put in maximum effort for 30 days, you ain't going to have no motion, or you're going to have very little motion. Now, phase 2, this is when it starts getting fun. Phase 2 is the optimization phase. So after my first 30 days, in my first 30 days when I did this, I had got 2 sales, right? I had made like 13,000 on 2 sales. So now after this, the next 30 days, I was able to look back on my previous 30 days and I was like, okay, this worked, this didn't work. I was able to analyze the data. I was able to see what the feedback loop was, and I was getting the feedback based off of the effort that I had put out. If I didn't put out a lot of effort, I wouldn't have a large sample size to be able to analyze. See, a lot of people, they're not where they want to be because they haven't put in enough effort to be able to analyze what it is and what's going on. So I was able to analyze my last 30 days, and I was like, all right, cool. So I with all this, I did 2 sales. I made this amount of dollars. So this next 30 days, I'm going to tighten it up. I'm going to refine my system. And I'm also going to be able to ride the momentum that I just created. Because a lot of effort will create momentum with what you're doing. A lot of effort will create a lot of momentum with what you're doing. So now you had this previous 30 days, phase 1, where you had a lot of effort. And now it builds on top of each other. So you got to understand what you're doing is not going in vain. Last month's work should be helping you out this month. There's a reason why businesses they operate in quarters. They operate in years and decades, but also quarters. So, there's quarterly reports for businesses and everything like that. 90-day increments. So phase 2, we're optimizing now. So I'm looking back at what I did the last 30 days. I'm looking at how many doors I knocked. I'm looking at how many sales I got, how many leads that I got. And now I'm going to optimize it. I'm going to say, okay, this area I was knocking, I wasn't really too fond of that. The 2 sales that I got came from this area. Now let me double down on what worked the last month. So I did that. And now my second month, I got 4 sales. So I doubled what I did the previous month because I optimized what I just did the last month. And now those 4 sales, it made me $32,000. Right? It made me $32,000. All from knocking doors, complete strangers looking the way I do. Because I took the information from the first 30 days, from phase 1, and then I leveraged that information because I'm smart enough to know that I need to leverage the data that's presented to me. And I take that and I use it for the next month. So now I doubled my production. I 2.5x my income, almost 3x'd it, because now I'm in phase 1 of optimization. Right? So the second phase, which is the second 30 days, so by the end of phase 2, you should be at day 60. At the end of the second phase, you'd be like, all right, cool. I see what I did in phase 1. I'm in phase 2. We got better. And at this point, you should be really, really, really good at what you're doing because you've been obsessed about it. And throughout this whole process, no social media. I'm locked in. My first year in solar, I had no social media apps on my phone. I was locked in. That's why the world didn't hear from me, because I was like, I'm about to go kill this shit. You got to have confidence with it. You got to have belief and all these other things. But I was locked in. So the phase 2, I was optimizing. I knew what I could do. I knew I was going to bust my ass. So phase 2, the second 30 days, I'm like, okay, if I give the same effort, because I have a better skill set and a better eye and a better understanding, if I just do the same amount of work, because my skills are refined, I should be able to squeeze more sales out of it. And what did I do? Boom, I did it. This is all documented, right? I got the 1099s to prove it. I got the screenshots to prove it. Like, none of this is cap. None of this is a lie. This is all factual, right? We talking about real money being deposited. And then here's when it get real fun. Then we go to phase 3. Phase 3 is like, you could call it the mastery phase. The phase where you just running it up at that point. After that, so the third 90 day or the third 30-day period, which is going into 90 days, I was just killing it. Then I had did 5 sales and I had made, it was like $36,000, all from knocking doors, because I knew what really worked now. I knew what worked. I knew what I could do. I knew my numbers. I knew my KPIs. I knew my skill set. I knew what customers was looking for. I knew what they weren't looking for. I knew what I needed to say. I knew what I didn't need to say. because I had just went ballistic and I had just went crazy over the past 60 days. So the last 30 days, I'm like, I just made 50 racks. And so now I'm about to go make another 50 this month. And I remember in my last 30-day stint, it was really like 40-something thousand, but I had a couple canceled deals. And so I ended up at, it was like 36, 37. All off of me telling myself I'm going to go on a 90-day sprint. Because you got to understand, a lot of times we get bored with what we're doing. We get bored with what we're doing. We get on autopilot with what we're doing. We get comfortable with what we're doing. So you got to do something to shake the shit up. You have to do something to shake the shit up. You have to. There's no way around it. But you can literally change your whole life and you can create so many results in 90 days if you organize how you approach the next 90 days. You have to get intentional about how you approaching your days, your weeks, your months. And then after the 90 days, I did it again. Because I just kept saying, let me think in 90-day increments. Right? Let me think in 90-day increments. If I can make $100,000 in 90 days, I'll be happy. That's like $1,100 a day. Think about it. So where you at in your life? Where you at in your life? And where you want to be? And just map it out. Right? So map out at the end of a 90-day period how much money you want to make, what you want to accomplish, who you want to be, where you want to be, what do you want to do? What's the goal? What's the objective? And then below that, write down, what are you willing to sacrifice to make this happen? Because just like that, if you go get a trainer and you want to lose weight or get better in the gym, they're going to tell you what you need to not eat. They're going to tell you what you need to not eat, what you need to stop eating. So the same goes for reaching certain goals and objectives in life. You got to be willing to write down, what are you willing to give up to get? Because understand this, there is no receiving without giving. If you're not willing to give up something, you're not willing to receive the complementary or the equivalent. You have to be willing to give up something to receive something. Because when you give, it starts the receiving process. Hear what I'm saying? When you give, it starts the receiving process. So think about it. If you want to receive good energy in the world, but you ain't giving good energy, how are you going to get it back? How are you going to get good energy? How are you going to experience good things when that's not the energy that you are putting out in the world? Yo, I'm feeling it right now because this shit is so real to me, because so many times I have seen my life change in 90 days. And I'm sharing this with you free because I know the power of this. I don't care how much you're making. See, people don't come and talk to me. People don't watch my content because they're just perfect. I don't care how much money you're making. I know I could help take your life to the next level. What if you thought in 90-day increments? No matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you've already accomplished, start from zero. Start from ground zero. Right here, right now. And be like, you know what? I'm about to go on a 90-day sprint and plan it out. And be like, all right, over the next 90 days, here's what I'm going to accomplish. One objective. And then we're going to reverse engineer that. You got to give up certain habits. You got to. Ain't no way around it. You got to give up certain habits. You have to give up certain habits. You got to give up thinking patterns, and you got to give up the people that you are around if they are not conducive to where you want to go. You have to give it up, right? You got to give up the bullshit conversations. You got to give up all the conversations where you call somebody because you know that you're going to be able to complain with them, right? Don't call people that's going to validate your own fuckery, right? Your own complaints. We're not doing that over here. If you're watching this video, you got the sauce. If you watching this video in the next 5 years, the world gonna know your name, right? If you rock with me over time, we will literally take your life to the next level off of free videos on YouTube. Cause I'm coming to you from a different level, from a completely different level. Think in 90-day increments. I dare you to think in 90-day increments. I dare you. I dare you to lock in. I dare you to cut out all the distractions. I dare you to put out an insane amount of effort that you haven't put out before. I dare you. I dare you to go change your life. I dare you to stop being comfortable. I dare you to stop being okay with what you getting because you making money and you ain't broke. I dare you to go 2x your income in the next 90 days. I dare you. I dare you. Because you know the crazy part? It's possible. And until you believe that it's possible, it's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because check this out. We all have these invisible barriers, right? So look up, right? You look up. And I want you to look up. And when you look up, you're going to see a barrier that's invisible. And the only way you're going to be able to break through that barrier is if you stop believing that there's a barrier and you start making actions that's in alignment with the person that's on the other side of that barrier. Right? So perfect example. Talking to one of the guys on my team. And I'm like, hey, what's the most money you made in a month? I mean, in a year. He said 40,000. I said, that's why you're not putting in a lot of effort, because you don't believe that you could go make 20,000 in a month. That's your barrier. It's an invisible barrier. So you're operating on a lower level because you don't believe that you could get on the other side of this barrier, because you've been caged in, because society has made you believe that this is all you worth when you really worth way more. But you got to believe that you worth more to get the more. So it's all a mind fuck. It's all a mind fuck. And when you understand that this is just a mental game, that life has been created to play games with us, you start operating on a different level. So in my mind, how can I break through this barrier as fast as possible? It's not about waiting forever. It's about acting different, thinking different, doing different, being different. That's what it's about. That's all it's about. You feel what I'm saying? So I want you, I don't care if you're a man, woman, don't matter. You know what I want you to do? I want you to commit. I want you to commit to a 90-day sprint. I want you to commit to a 90-day sprint. I want you to commit to starving the distractions. I want you to commit to putting in more effort in something that you're already doing that's bringing in results, and put more effort than you ever had before in a 30-day period. Because if you put in double the effort in the same amount of time, you will get more results. You'll have a bigger lead pool. You'll have a bigger lead flow. And then you'll be able to pick from that lead flow. You see what I'm saying? Stop accepting crumbs from yourself. Stop accepting it. Stop lowering your bar because you're not hitting your bar. Right? Stop lowering your standards. Raise your effort. That's one thing I learned. Give yourself 0 excuses. 0. Give yourself no excuses. Live and die by the 90-day sprint. First 30 days, put an insane amount of effort in there. Right? Next 30 days, optimize what you just did. Next 30 days, go run it the fuck up. It's that simple. It's truly that simple. Right? I want you to understand what I'm really saying. If you go do this right now, you'll make more money than you probably have in a shorter period of time. You'll have more opportunities come to you than you even thought was like real. And then you're going to break through the barrier. And then what you going to do? You're going to just go do it again. And then you're going to start thinking in 90-day increments. You don't need a lot of time to go change your life. You need a lot of effort. And you need a lot of belief in yourself. And you need a lot of confidence. And you need to get rid of the people that are holding you back. You need to get rid of yourself, because your old self is holding you back. And you need to shed it all. And you need to go all in on you. Go all in on your dreams. Go all in on your dreams, right? The point of life is to be living what you are meditating and praying about. If I'm not experiencing things that I would dream of, I'm not living life. That's what success is to me. To me, success is, I used to dream about this. I used to meditate about this. I used to journal about this. And then now I'm experiencing it in the physical. That's what success is to me. Right? If you experiencing what you haven't been meditating about, you ain't designing your life. You got to design your life. Right? You got to be intentional about the energy you're putting into the world so that you can get it back. I'm really, really, really like telling you how simple it is to go crazy, to change your life, to change the game. You get what I'm saying? I'm coming to you from this place of like, I can't even explain it. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm really saying. It's just coming. You got to understand I'm a vessel. And so go on a 90-day sprint. Go on a 90-day sprint. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Nothing to lose and everything to gain. Don't be fearful. Operate out of pure abundance and love. What if you knew you couldn't fail? What if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do? How would you do it? What type of intensity and urgency would you approach it with? You see, let me share some real shit with you. I got into a place where I was like, man, I just want to be low key. Right? I just want to be low key and get my money. But then something told me, hey, it ain't about that. And then what I do? I had to accept that it was a bigger like purpose that I needed to be operating out of. And that's when I just came on YouTube and I just went crazy. Like, it's not even me. I have to do this. I have to show up every Wednesday. I have to show up as many times as possible weekly. You know why? Because I know where I'm going. This shit is bigger than me. I know I got literally millions of lives to change and infect. I know I got to do that. That's my purpose. It ain't even about that. It's not. I got to do this. I'm on my own 90-day sprint again. Right here on YouTube. And I'm doing it right here, right now, for you, in front of you, and with you. So I challenge you to go on a 90-day sprint. I challenge you to go on a 90-day sprint. A 90-day sprint will literally change your being. Whether it's in the gym, getting money, learning your skill set, investing into your craft and getting better, building your business. But you got to learn how to focus. You got to learn how to focus. You got to learn how to be disciplined on your word and what you say you're going to do. I've seen this so many times. I say, okay, I'm going to lock in. I'm going to go make 40 racks this month. I lock in and then I go make 42,000 or 39,000. It's happened so many times. because I know how to lock in. And then the cold part about it is with the 90-day sprint, I just break it down into 30-day chunks. And so if I'm focusing on the 30-day chunks, I'm going to get to the 90-day success. That's all it's about. So I want to challenge you to go on this 90-day sprint. I'm on it right now. I'm in my second month. Right now on YouTube. Started a whole new YouTube channel. I could have went on to my old YouTube channel. I said I want to start from scratch. I want to start from nothing. I want to build an authentic following, a deep following. So I'm doing it. And I want you to do the same thing in your life and your craft with whatever you're doing. I don't care what it is. It don't matter about that. But it's about the intention and the commitment. If you can lock in and focus for 90 days, the rest of your life will never be the same. Because you're going to see how powerful you are, and you're going to see what you can do in 90 days. And there's a book called The 12-Week Year. And it says that you can accomplish your year's worth of goals in 12 weeks. And what is 12 weeks? 90 days. Boom. Right? You can accomplish what you want to do in a year in 12 weeks, in 90 days. And then you got 4 quarters in a year. So you can accomplish 4 years worth of stuff in 1 year if you think in terms of 90-day increments. You did? So that's what I wanted to say. Let's go on a 90-day sprint together. If you all in on a 90-day sprint, put it in the comments. Drop the comment below. Like this video, subscribe to this video, and let's lock in and let's go change our lives forever. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Stay smooth. Peace.